If your nonprofit doesn't currently raise major gifts, or your program could be better, then this series is for you. I'm Amy Eisenstein. Join me on this journey to mastering major gifts. Welcome back to the Major Gifts Challenge. If you're unfamiliar with the challenge, check out the introductory video here. The next step to achieving success in raising major gifts is identifying who you will ask. The last video discussed defining a major gift. Once defined, it's clear you don't need lots of major gift donors. You can be successful with just a handful. When it comes to major gifts, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. It's actually better to focus on a handful of well-qualified donors, the best potential donors, than a longer list of maybes. The goal is to narrow your donor list to a number you can manage. These lists are often called a portfolio or a pipeline, indicating the need to manage what passes through. It makes no sense to have a list of 50 or 100 names, which may feel so overwhelming, it just sits on your desk. If you're at a busy development office where you're responsible for writing grants, planning events, marketing, and more, I recommend a portfolio of just 20 potential major gift donors. There are several ways to identify the people who will go on your list. The best way to identify prospects is to look at your database of existing donors. If you don't have existing donors, keep following the Major Gifts Challenge. In an upcoming video, I'll talk about identifying new donors and raising friends for your organization. Assuming you have a database with at least a few years of donor history, you're going to start there. When checking your database to determine your best potential major gift donors, you're looking for two things. Run a report to identify those who gave the most cumulatively over the last 12 months or in the last fiscal or calendar year. It's important to use cumulative giving. If you simply look for anyone who has given over $1,000 as a one-time gift, you may miss donors who come to every event and donate smaller amounts throughout the year. If you want to be extra thorough, run another list for the year before as well to catch anyone who should be on the list but didn't give last year for some reason. Run a report to identify anyone who has given at least 4 times during the last 5 years. This group is significantly different from your largest donors group because there's no minimum gift required to make it onto this list. This list will identify donors who give $10 per year, but do so consistently, year after year. Loyal donors are important because they are devoted to your organization. Loyalty is rare these days in fundraising. It's more important to have a low-level committed donor than one who gives once and never gives again. The donors on both lists, your largest and most loyal, are going to be your best major gift prospects because they already have an affinity for your organization and are showing it by donating money. Let's look at where you'll want to spend your time this week. This week's Challenge Yourself action item involves 2 simple steps. Step 1, run lists of your largest and most loyal donors. I explained how to do this earlier, so feel free to go back and rewatch or reread if you need a reminder of how to do this. Step 2, narrow down your lists. Take a red pen and cross off corporations and foundations. Once you've eliminated corporations and foundations, if you have more than 200 names on your lists, then narrow the criteria and run the reports again. This time, look for even larger donors and loyal donors at larger amounts or over longer periods of time. Once you have your most loyal and largest donors identified, it's time to narrow your list even more to a number of people you can work with and ask for major gifts this year. In Mastering Major Gifts, you're provided a handy worksheet that will walk you through a system for narrowing your list based on each person's giving potential and inclination towards your organization. In fact, Mastering Major Gift is the perfect online program for anyone who's truly ready to identify the best potential major gift donors for their organization. Now it's your turn to chime in. Remember, your participation in the comments can only help you with the challenge. Does the idea of generating lists of loyal and large donors have your stomach in a knot? What database are you using? Does it have preset reports, or do you have to develop queries on your own? Let me know in the comments, and I'll provide you with some helpful feedback. Next week, we'll discuss how to further narrow your lists so you can focus on your best major gift prospects. Congratulations! You're on your way to mastering major gifts. If you want more videos like this, head on over to amyeisenstein.com. There you can subscribe to my weekly newsletter, and when you do, you'll get instant access to 2 free ebooks. Like and share. The larger the conversation, the more we all learn. Thanks again for taking the Major Gifts Challenge. Working together, we will make the world a better place.